Hey, everybody, welcome back to the channel that takes you deep inside the San Francisco 49ers. I am your host, Jack Hammer of the Santa Rosa Press Democrat, and it is time for this week's film review. It's time to take a look back at the 49ers' final preseason game against the Los Angeles Chargers. And today we'll go through that, and we're going to review the performance of Brock Purdy. He opened the game, played pretty well. Then we'll turn our attention to Sam Darnold for a little bit in the middle, and we'll wrap it up with a look at the fantastic, incomparable Brandon Allen to wrap up the game. So let's go ahead and let's get into it. Not a whole lot of time to waste today on this Sunday. Want to get you guys off and going for your day with your families. Have a good time. But before we do that, I got a super chat. I got to hit up Hiram Wallace, a member of the Toolbox. Doesn't say anything, just says, gives me $10. Hey, I appreciate it, Hiram. Thank you very much. He also had did have a one up here. Says Kinlaw has been really bad, and they have six other guys that they could use if they cut him. I agree. I think there's some Javon Kinlaw has been either really good or really bad. He's kind of been a little bit of both. When it comes to pass rushing, he's been pretty good. When it comes to run defense, not so much. I don't think he's going to get cut. I think if one of those two guys between him and Kevin Givens had to be cut to make room for somebody else, I would say it's going to be Kevin Givens. But we'll see how that all plays out. Hiram also wants to know, is cut down day less important with so many guys going to the practice squad? To a certain extent, yes. The 49ers, you cut down to 53. You have a 16-man practice squad, so that gets you to 69. But with the 49ers, because they have Alfredo Gutierrez, they can actually keep 70. So there's only going to be 20 players that are going to be cut today that for sure aren't coming back. Some of the others that the 49ers release between today and Tuesday, they'll try to re-sign to the practice squad. Part of the whole delicate balance here is you're releasing players and you're hoping that they can clear waivers so that you can get them signed to your practice squad. That's the other part of it too. So it's important. Maybe it's a little bit different now, especially with the rules, how you can have a guy in a practice squad and pull them up to your active roster. So when you look at it overall, the 49ers will have 70 players between their 53-man active and their practice squad. But those practice squad guys can come up and down, I think, 3 times before they have to be elevated to the 53-man roster. So that helps out with a position like wide receiver, where the 49ers only have 4 of their top 6 right now healthy. Danny Gray out. And then also you have the injury to Ray McLeod. So the 49ers are going to have to keep 6 receivers on their initial 53-man roster. It'll be interesting to see what they decide to do with both Gray and with McLeod. I don't expect to see either of those guys go on IR, because then that means they're going to be gone for a longer period of time. More likely a situation where they keep 6 active on their roster and they're just going to be pulling up a guy. So that's why I feel like a receiver like Willie Snead makes a lot of sense. He's a veteran, a decent receiver at that, and a guy who we've already seen have that role with the 49ers in the past. Gregus Khan says, Razor Eater in the house. Hey, if this is indeed the great Razor Eater from the Santa Rosa Press Democrat, great Smither Wars of the early 2012s to 2011s. Gregus, it is great to see you. Miss you over at the blog. I know you have a lot of stuff going on. You're always fantastic with that, so I wanted to shout that out. If that is indeed the Razor Eater, I am excited. That just made my day. All right, let's get into it. Let's get rolling. We also have, I got to shout out my guys over here that are in the toolbox. We got a couple other ones. I missed it over. I was going so fast. We got Lucas Pesci says, hi, Jack. How you doing? We got Luke Walsh says, good morning, everyone. Good morning. And we got the notorious GAV. Nobody cares if you used to be a Trey, Purdy, or Jimmy fan. What matters now is the 49ers have a winning season. End of discussion. There you go. I don't know where that comes from. I think you guys are arguing over quarterback still. We have the Gav also says, Jack, with Latu injured, could that possibly free up a roster space for Jack Coletto? I think Jack Coletto is not going to make the 49ers 53-man roster. If he's here, he's on the practice squad. If Latu is injured to the point where he has to go on IR, that's going to free up a roster spot for somebody like either Troy Fumagalli or Charlie Werner. I think the 49ers tight ends, just to get this out of the way really quick, because I don't have my 53-man all dialed in, but you're going to get George Kittle, you're going to get Braden Willis, those 2. And then if they only keep 3, it's going to be Charlie. I think the guy that everybody's overlooking here is Ross Dwelley. I think Ross Dwelley makes this roster as a tight end. He was the guy that the 49ers had on the field on Friday night as the starter. He plays a lot of different roles. He can play tight end for them. He can play fullback in a pinch if they need to have have him line up there if something was to happen to Kyle Juszczyk. So no, I don't think Jack Colletto makes the roster. They have tight ends that they can use to fill into that spot if necessary. But I think he does make it to the practice squad. I don't see a team wanting to pick him up and then sign him to the active roster, because that's the other piece of it too. Remember, if you waive a guy right now and another team picks him up, that other team is actually picking them up to put him on the active roster. I don't think there's enough teams around the NFL that are going to want to pick up Jack Colletto and make another fullback out of him. So I think that's the other part too. Bobby Myra says, "Hey Jack, what will the kicker situation look like come week 1? If Moody is good, do they cut Zane? But if Moody is not good to go, do they stash him on IR? I don't think they'll stash him on IR, because again, that means he'll be gone for an extended period of time. If Moody's good to go, Zane Gonzalez is not going to be a member of the 49ers. Zane Gonzalez, the injury that he had, that he suffered to that's something that's lingered throughout his career. Zane Gonzalez, part of the reason why he is at this point in his career where he is because he's been injured. And this isn't the first time that Gonzalez was injured a calf in warmups pregame. So I don't expect that to be something different there. So if they have to bring somebody out off to and from another team, they would, but they'd still have to, I think they would have to go light at one other spot. And then Luke says Brody to Washington on the PD blog. I know that, Luke. I know you. Maybe you're just trying to make sure that the Razor Eater knows who you are. This is fantastic. I got my guys from the blog. I got the guys from YouTube. I got the guys who just want to yell at me. This is fantastic. Let's get into the game. Let's pull it up. It is time for the film review. Let me get myself off the screen. You don't need to see me. We're going to open up the game 1st and 10 from the 25, and they're going to come out throwing. Brock Purdy going to hit Kyle Juszczyk. He's looking out to the right. It's not there. Comes quickly back over the middle. Again, this is similar to what they did in the opening of the game against the Raiders, right? There was a lot of people last week that were screaming about how when it comes to Brock Purdy's performance last week, it was a lot easier than what, say, for example, Trey Lance against the Raiders, because it was just boot, easy throw. So instead, what we've got here is we're going to have a quick little 3-step drop. He's going to look to the right side. It's covered. Kittle, Ayuk out there are covered, and he's going to come quickly to the next read, which is Kyle Juszczyk. There's the hole, puts it on him, and it's a completion of 7. So right off the bat, we get a throw from Purdy to Gav's favorite player of the team, Juice, Kyle Juszczyk. Just you see him read, boom, pop, throw. And that's the way this 49ers offense works, right? You just you're quick, ball comes out, get from 1 to 2 to 3. You're going to see he's got 2 up to the top, so he's looking out there. Boom, boom, and then right back. Nice and easy stuff for him. I should say, it's not easy, right? Not easy, but he makes it look easy. I think that's the biggest part of it. He just makes it look easy, does Brock Purdy. So now they come back. It's going to be 2nd and 3. 21 personnel still. 1 running back, two running backs, 1 tight end. Again, just got a little flat with the in cut to the outside from the outside for Brandon Ayuk, and Purdy's going to take it. He's going to look to that side. Juszczyk's covered, comes back inside to Ayuk. 1st down. Flat, not there. Come inside. He's able to see all that at one spot, right? He takes a step back. He's looking to the right side. He can see the flat's covered. Come back inside. Boom. Boom. There you go. Now, they're going to keep passing 1st and 10. Now, they come out throwing this game. 4 of the first 5 plays or throws. They're going to run the screen out here to the right side. And it's pretty well read, trying to get it out to George Kittle. I'm not sure if this is just a throwaway on Purdy's part on purpose. Looks like it to me. He's turning and looking over there. Kittle's tied up, so there's nowhere to go with the ball. Let's just get it into the open area for an incompletion. Play action. And we're going to see that later on in the game too with Brandon Allen in as well. You see something like that on the screen instead of throwing it over him, he's rounding it, which is what we talked about last week that Lance should have done. It's really what Purdy should have done in practice a couple of days later, earlier this week when he had that interception from Jake Jackson. Okay, so now it's going to be 2nd and 10. They're going to have a little nice inside run. You got to look at that push. Now again, you got to remember here they're playing against mostly the backups for the Chargers, right? And so the offense is working well. The reads are there. Watch the offensive line to generate the push that they generate here, which isn't something we've seen from them in the first 2 preseason games. You just get a nice little push there. All right, so let's move on to the next one. Third and 5. You're going to get basically a little Texas route out of the backfield for Jordan Mason. Easy throw, easy read, easy play for Brock Purdy. Again, watch this down the field. He's got a choice. He could go to either of these two guys. He can go to Mason if he wants to, or he can go to the other side and work to Deebo Samuel. He's got both of those guys there for him. He's already made the decision to go to the top. Good choice, and you pick up 13 yards. That's he could have held it, maybe even thrown the out route if you wanted to Brandon Ayuk on the top of the screen or whatever, what have you. Doesn't matter. You take the little short route, let your guy make yards after the catch. It's really 6 1/2 dozen of the, so much people wanting to push the ball down the field. Timeout. All right. Just a nice little easy throw, right? Hit, keep the ball moving, make the positive plays. 1st and 10, they're going to run the ball here with Mason for 6. Again, the offensive line dominating the backups of the Chargers. I think that's my biggest thing kind of in watching this game. I came away from the game, if you followed my live blog, if you followed, saw my show yesterday, I wasn't all that impressed with most of the game. I wasn't really even that impressed with this because of the fact that this is the 49ers starting offense going up against the backups, mostly backups of the Chargers. And the same thing with on the defensive side of the ball for the 49ers. So the 49ers should be winning. And I like the fact that as we go through this, Purdy is making good reads. I'm not overly impressed by the offensive line's performance and their ability to drive the backups of the Los Angeles Chargers off the ball. If they were doing this to their first team defense of the Chargers, that would be a different story, but it's not. So that's why I'm trying to mostly focus on Purdy, because I think at least in that way right now, we get a chance to make sure he's making the right directions going where the ball should be going. And then this is just a bad throw out to the right side. I think he could have held on to this one just a little bit longer and made this throw to Deebo Samuel at the top of the screen. He's working to the left side. It's not there. He comes back to the right. And I think, he's got Deebo open here, and either he's throwing this ball away or it's just a really bad throw on his part because it's not even close. It's 5 yards short off to the side. It's going to hit the coach over there at the top of the screen. Again, it's 2nd and 4, so you've got another down to play with. So you just go ahead and you throw it away and you go to the next play. But I think if he has time to sit here a little bit on his back foot and make a better throw than that, he doesn't have to throw the ball. He could have thrown the ball more to Deebo Samuel if you understand what I'm saying. I think this one could have been a much better play on his part because it's there to be made. Blind Tom, thank you very much. I appreciate the super chat. He says, "Good morning, Jack. Thank you for your hard work. God bless and have a great day." I appreciate it. Thank you very much. This is this is something I love doing. I love doing the film breakdown. I love once the season starts, it's my favorite time. I really struggle with the off season and all the stuff that goes on around that time. I just think it's a lot of it's ridiculous. We can just throw whatever shit we want against the wall and hope it sticks. And then talk about how smart we are. Most people have been very wrong throughout this this off season about so many different things. All right, so now it's going to be 3rd and 4, man across the board, too high. I thought Brock Purdy didn't need to have 2 high safeties because he doesn't have the arm strength to make it. What do I know? Okay, so we got 2 high safeties, man coverage from the Chargers. Because it's man, you have the guy step down on George Kittle, and then it's just a quick little easy hitch out to the right side to Brandon Ayuk. Big play. Again, they're showing you across the board that they're in man with the guys here. They're showing 2 safeties at top, but also there's nobody there to cover George Kittle. If you look at the way that the alignment is set up for the Chargers at this point, they don't have anybody to cover Kittle. So the safety that's at the hash on the bottom of the screen is going to have to get to him. And he could have gone. Purdy decides to work the top to Brandon to Ayuk. The easier look at the throw to George Kittle. George Kittle's got 7 yards of separation between him and the safety. That's an easy pitch and catch for a first down as well. Instead, he goes to the top of the screen. Ball's coming out before Ayuk even turns. As soon as Ayuk is at the top of his route and turns, the ball's already on him, and then he beats the guy. It's really nice. That is correct, Gav. Tommy liked that play too. He wanted to make sure everybody knew that was a good throw. Just an easy throw, right? It's just a hitch. He's throwing it on time, well before the guy's turned. Nice throw. Nice play after by Brandon Ayuk for the first down. I agree, Funky Freestyler. It's not easy, right? It's not easy. That's why, like, even on this play right here, there's a couple of places he could have gone with the ball. I'm saying it's an easy little pitch and catch out to the right side because it's a hitch, and it's not really easy. And part of that is because if you go back and you look at the play and you just to say it's just easy, he's not making. You got to look at the entirety of this play. Is it compared to other throws that a quarterback would be making in the NFL? Is it an easy one? I mean, sure, but look at when he's starting to make this throw right now. Ayuk is still running the vertical part of the route. He's starting to break down for but the ball's already out. By the time Ayuk's already beginning to turn around, the ball's out. This is what you call throwing on time, getting the ball out on time, giving your guy a chance to make the play. And he could have gone down here to the bottom to Kittle, like I said, too. So, yeah, it's not easy. These are quick. He makes it look easy. I think that's the thing. So, Funky Freestyler, I think this is part of it with Brock Purdy. He makes the game look so damn easy that the people that have knocked him this offseason, they just don't understand what's happening because it is coming out so quick. And as Randall says here, you guys are smarter than me. Processing ability is what makes Brock special. It's what makes Sam D see ghost. And I agree with this. The processing ability of Brock Purdy is top notch. And it's, again, there tends to be when it comes to football and quarterback play, there tends to be people think of processing as smarts, and those are 2 completely different things. You can be a very smart person, but have trouble processing in really quick situations like what happens as a quarterback, whereas you can just be a normal dude, but because you understand what's happening on the field, you get the ball out quicker. You don't understand it. Saying that a quarterback doesn't process quickly isn't saying that they're not smart. Hopefully that makes sense. Anyway, so he is a quick processor. He knows where to go quickly. The other thing that makes Brock Purdy so good is his ability to his feet are quick. And I think that's what a lot of people don't understand is he's so quick with his feet that it allows him to go from 1 to 2 to 3 and be in position to make those throws on time. He doesn't have to always be throwing in the perfect spot. Sometimes he can be throwing a little bit sidearm, or he can be a little off balance and still make those throws. And I think that's also when you look at, like what Greg says here, Sam Darnold struggles if his first read is covered. Absolutely. If Sam Darnold's first read is open, he's money. If he's got to go from 1 to 3, now we're starting to get really sketchy. And again, the 155 10-yard split that Purdy has is elite. It is. It's actually the same. It's the same 10-yard split as Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey also has a 1.55 10-yard split. So that acceleration, Purdy's not as fast as some guys, but he is quick. He's quicker than a lot of guys. I think there's a differentiation between fast and quick. He's definitely got the quickness. And I agree with this too. And people, I agree. I think when you look at Brock Purdy and you look at Joe Montana, the two things that you see are the quick feet and the ball coming out quick. We'll see what happens. If Brock Purdy is Joe Montana, this is a team that goes to the Super Bowl this year and wins it. Unless the defense falls off, because that's how good this team is. They just have so many guys around them. And let's be real. He's not Joe Montana until he does it 4 times, but for the 49ers, I get what you're saying though, Randall, in that the 49ers, they're in a much better spot at the quarterback position than I think some people have believed going into this season. So you see the run there at the end of it, they fumble, but a really good opening possession for Brock Purdy gets him down the little hitch for 35 yards. Open up the second possession, you're going to get a couple of runs here to open up. I'm going to fast forward through those. A nice little toss out to the right. You get a hold on Ayuk, though, brings that one back. So the 49ers, there's just too many holding penalties between this game and the first game, and we're going to see those when it comes to Sam Darnold's time on the field, hold them up a little bit as well. So now you're backed up 2nd and 12 instead of having 1st and 10. Not a big deal. Brock Purdy just goes to work. They're going to run double slants at the bottom of the screen. You're going to see Jennings run a slant. You're going to see Samuel run a slant. The slant from Jennings pulls that defender down. It's down with them. So Purdy's going to look to the first slant. He sees the defender running with Jennings opening up the hole, and so he goes to the second, to the outside guy for the slant. Cosmo wants to know what my take is on Purdy not being able to throw right. I think there can be a couple of things for it. I think he makes some really nice throws to the right side. He's not very good getting the ball down the field to the right side. He's much better on the left side. And I think some of that is because when he's throwing to the left, as quarterbacks, a lot of times what happens is when you're throwing to your left side, you've got to get everything turned around to make that throw. When you're throwing to the right, you've got to really get yourself turned all prior to the throw. Otherwise, you're throwing more with your arm. And I think sometimes when he's throwing to his right, he doesn't get his front shoulder closed enough so that he's using his whole body to make the throw, if that makes sense. I think when he's throwing to the left, he's closed. So when he throws it, that whole body has to turn around. And so he's using his whole body to help his arm. Whereas he's throwing to his right, I don't know if he's always getting his shoulders and lower half turned around enough so that when he's stepping into it, he's really getting as much drive on it. I think some of that is what's taking place there. So have the little completion there. You get a run to pick up the first down. Now it's 1st and 10. They're going to run you're going to get a curl on the outside from Brandon Ayuk. You get the flat from, I think this is still Kyle Juszczyk out of the backfield. So the read here is you're reading the flat defender. You see the flat defender is the guy right now between Brandon Ayuk, and I think that's the tight end up there. He's just to the right side of the hash marks. That flat defender goes with Kyle Juszczyk, so that means the throw is going to be to the curl to Ayuk. This throw comes a little bit too far inside, and as a result, Ayuk has to leave his feet to try to get to the ball. I think if this is one of those where it's a tough one. I think that he might need to. There might have been an expectation that you're going to get 11 kind of working more inside, getting more of a curl instead of having to come straight back. But I think the coverage changes that. Purdy needs to make a better throw here. And that's the kind of ball that, even though it comes off of Ayuk's hands and it's not on the money, that's the kind of throw that we've seen Ayuk catch a lot this year in training camp. He's made those off balance, hands kind of type of catches so many times. But you'll see here, it's a nice read. The part about it, what's positive about it, is you're seeing the process go into the right spot. You got to make the throw better, though, right? Got to be able to make that throw better. Because it's there. It's wide open for him. It's a good read. The flat's covered. Flat defender vacates, hit the curl, and step in and throw it to him. Got to put it on him. Got to put it on him. Nice run up the middle here by Mason. Again, this is the running game of the 49ers was working. They could have ran the ball right now with this first unit. They could have just ran the ball the whole time. They didn't even have to try to throw it. I'm just trying to get to the next throw. So now 1st and 5 down at the goal line. And they come out and they're going to run little fades on both sides. He chooses the bottom to Ayuk. Ayuk's well covered. The ball goes over his head. Just nothing there. Neither guy won their route. Purdy's throw goes over him. 33 actually had a pretty good game for the Chargers. He's around the ball quite a bit. So now 2nd and 5, and they're gonna go back to the air again. Now they're in 11 personnel, 3 receivers, 1 tight end, 1 running back. And there's Ross Dwelly that I was talking about. He's more of the tight end right now. The second guy in, well covered across the board. If he wants to, he could probably throw this down out here to Dwelly, but with the coverage opening up and seeing that it's man, knowing that it's man. Purdy knows that he can get to the end zone, and he just runs it in himself. Nice play by Purdy. Just going ahead and holding on to the ball. It's good coverage across. Like I said, he could probably come out here to Dwelly quick. Right now, he's not looking there. He was looking more to Ayuk though, and then just holds it and runs it in for the touchdown himself. Nice, right? So Brock Purdy had 3 possessions in the preseason. All 3 possessions go down deep into the red zone. The first one ends up with a field goal. The second one, you get the fumble by Jordan Mason into the end zone. Third one is a touchdown. Gav says, I noticed us running a lot of 12 personnel in the second half. Is that going to be a thing for us going forward? It's always been a thing for the 49ers. They run a lot of 21 and a lot of 12. Those are their 2. They run a lot of 21, a lot of 12 on 1st and 2nd down. When they get to 3rd down, that's usually when you see them use 11 personnel with 3 receiver sets, usually more of just a 3rd down thing. Every once in a while, they'll sprinkle that in. I think part of the reason they're using 12 personnel so much right now also is they're trying to figure out what they're going to do at the tight end spot. And I think they have a pretty good idea when it comes to the receivers. They're a little bit depleted at that position with so many guys down. And so I think that's the other reason why in the second half you're seeing them, at least in this game, utilizing more 12 personnel just because of what's going on around them. So that's the night for Brock Purdy, 5 of 9, the touchdown run. I felt like he had a pretty good game overall. Longtime Niner fan wants to know if we've seen Brock slide well. I hope he does everything he can to stay healthy. Yeah, he can slide. He's a baseball player. He's done fine with sliding, I think, in the past. I think we've seen him do it a couple of times. Either that, dive forward, either one. Just get on the ground. I think he'll be fine with that. Now we bring in the big guy, Sam Darnold, and they're going to just run the ball here the first few plays of the game with Sam Darnold in there. Now it brings up 3rd and 1. They're going to run the ball here. They're going to pick up the first down. They're in 13 personnel here, Gav. They got 3 tight ends at the bottom of the screen. Just a huge push. They call Nick Zakel for holding. Zakel, the left guard, gets called for a hold. right there at the end. Just, yeah, he has a tendency to just hold on a little too much, and it's been costly to him and the 49ers. So instead of having another first down here, now you're left with 3rd and 10. And on 3rd and 10, Darnold's going to go to the top of the screen. He's going to have a curl from Chris Conley. That's where he's going to work. You got to try to get this thing down the field for the first down. He decided that he was going to go to the top of the screen and give Conley an opportunity, and it doesn't work out. It's one of those things where they're making a choice before the snap. Do you want Chris Conley on this, or do you want to go to Ronnie Bell? I think that's really what the question is, because you watch Ronnie Bell down here at the bottom. He's open. Look at Bell, the separation that he creates off of it. It's a tighter throw, and then you're not going to necessarily throw the ball there too, because the linebacker sat in the middle of the field more to that side. So that means that's the other reason why you would go up to Chris Conley. So it's not necessarily a bad read. Pre-snap, you might like the Ronnie Bell matchup a little bit better, but that linebacker sits in the middle, opens up the hole more for Chris Conley. But the defensive back up there does a much better job. Leonard does a much better job on Conley, and they take it away. I don't think it's not a bad play on his part. He's making the correct decision in terms of where the linebacker has moved. So you go to the other side. It's just that the receiver doesn't win his route, so you end up with an incompletion here. You gotta move that guy one way or another. He moved him to the left, worked to the right. So now you come out 1st and 10 from the 8-yard line. I put this down as a drop, but I don't think this is a drop. I think this play actually gets broken up by Leonard. They're going to throw a quick curl down here to the bottom, and I think that DB gets his hand on the ball. I think 33 gets his hand there. I don't think that Juwan Jennings got both hands on this ball. It's a tight one, so I don't know if it's. I tried to watch this so many different times to see exactly what happened. But it sure to me looks like he's getting his hand across to knock that ball away from Jennings right there at the top of the route. A good read, good throw by Sam Darnold. Really good play by the defender. Not a whole lot you can do if you're the quarterback on that play. It's a good read. He's throwing it to the right spot, puts it on the right spot. The DB just makes a better play. Hitch throw. I just think that 33 is making a good play there on that one. 2nd and 10. You're going to run a little screen to Ty Davis Price out here to the right side. Warner's using 2 tight ends here, so they're using Fumagalli as the fullback. Troy Fumagalli, and there's the fullback. Screen and a pickup of 12. Easy play. Good job by Darnold getting depth, getting the ball off. Good job down the field. Nice gain of 12. Let me fast forward here a little bit. Got a little inside run. I'm trying to get to the next throw for Darnold. Okay, here we go. 3rd and 4. 3rd and 4 from the 26. And he's going to work the top of the screen. And what he's going to get is Chris Conley's going to run a deep in. So about 15 yards on an in. You're going to get the running back, who is Ty Davis Price, is going to run a little curl. So really what they're trying to do, that's the conflict point, right? At the top of the screen. Does 22 play the flat, or does he play back? He's kind of sitting in between. Darnold's getting this ball out right off of. This is a good read on his part where he's going with the ball. He's a little late with the throw, though, and I think that makes this a lot closer than it should be. It's a tough one because of where 28's located, the safety. That's the read, because he's the guy that's covering the flat. When he drops down at that point right there, Darnold needs to know that that's where he's going. And it's hard to make this throw much sooner than he does. That's the only thing that I would say is that this ball needs to come out a little sooner, because I think where he has to throw the ball, see how where he's trying to make this throw to get it to the receiver. First off, it's a bad throw. It's way too far out in front of him. He's got to stick that on him a little bit more. If he gets that ball out just a tick sooner, more to the left and down, this is a completion. This is a bad throw on his part. It's a worse throw when you look at it from this angle than when you watch it from on the TV. Because you can see where this ball's supposed to go. This ball's supposed to come right off of that, basically right over the left shoulder. This ball should be to the left side of that hash mark. It should be more basically where the safety and the linebacker are. He should be splitting those guys with this throw. It's wide open. Instead, he's throwing this thing way over the middle. It's just not even close. Just a bad throw by Sam Darnold. I don't think he's anticipating too much. I think he knows where he wants to go with the ball. I just think this is just a bad spot. This ball needs to be more to the left. So open up the next possession now. 1st and 10 from the 25. This is the throw everybody wants to talk about. 1, 2, 3. Hit your back foot. Hitch. Let it go. Nice catch by Chris Conley on the back end. Injured the shoulder, so he's going to be out for a little bit of time. 1, 2, 3. Hitch. Throw. This is 2 times now. He's hit 2 nice deep balls down the right side. Right, 2 times in this preseason. Those are really the big plays of the preseason for Sam Darnold. Other than the touchdown throw to Jack Coletto last week, right, Gav? And it's a really nice ball from Sam Darnold. It's a really nice ball. Now 1st and 10 now at the 41. Everything's covered downfield. Get the ball out quick to your check down. Instead of that being Christian McCaffrey, it's Ty Davis Price, and he picks up 3. But this is a good read. Good decision making by Darnold here. It's not open down the field. Hitch it up and get it to your check down for a positive play. It's a mixture of, this is a pass. It's like a run, right? Because the downfield opportunity is not there, so you take what's underneath. And that's a good play by Darnold. Good choice. That leaves you with 2nd and 6. And Bobby Myers says good throws to his right. Yeah, he can make that throw. He's done it a few times. You're going to get a scramble here. Nowhere to go. Well covered across, and then he starts to scramble, and Nick Zakelj has sticky hands. He needs to stick them off. I think what happened is Randall had bought those sticky gloves for Cameron Latu before the last game. And I think what happened is Latu let Zakelj borrow him for this one, because every time he's blocking somebody, it seems like they get stuck on his hands. I think it just got sticky, those stickum gloves. I think that's what the problem is there. We got to blame. We're blaming Randall for the holding calls on Nick Zakelj because he got him those sticky gloves. Watch it here. It's there. He's in good position, and he just grabs him at the end. Yeah, there's no reason to grab him like that. So as a result, now it's going to be 2nd and 16. And this play reminds me a lot of when the 49ers were down in Los Angeles against the Chargers in 2021. If you remember in that game, both Jimmy Garoppolo and Trey Lance had interceptions on short throws over the middle where they're just a little off the mark to the receivers, and they bounced off their hands. One of them was picked off. I don't know if the other one was. They might have both been intercepted. I can't remember exactly. But either way, both guys had short throws over the middle that were dropped. And this is that same kind of thing. This isn't necessarily a good throw by Darnold. This throws behind 86. It hits him on the back shoulder. This should be a catch, right? It should be a catch. It's a tough throw because it's behind him. When we watch it from this view, you can see it's behind him. This is the right spot to go, but it's a bad it's a bad throw and that it's back here, right? Put that thing in front of him and let him run, or get him the ball a little bit quicker, because he was open for quite a while coming across. Either get it to him quicker, recognize that it's covered so you can turn quicker and get him the ball, or at least put it on him where it's not behind him. So that's a bad throw on Darnold's part. It's a drop on 86 because it hits him in the hands, but it's not a perfect throw either. It's behind him. So now we're looking at 49ers are looking at 3rd and 16. And this is a nice ball by Darnold. This throw coming out on time, coming out early. But, he's trusting that Snead's gonna be able to turn and open, right? It's the proper read. It's the proper throw. It's the he's already going in that direction, and that's a nice play by Willie Snead to make that catch. Willie Snead is a really nice veteran receiver, a nice option for this team to have, especially with the injuries that they're having at others, at that position. I really like what I've seen from Willie Snead in this training camp. He's been really good. So now they're left with 4th and 2. They don't have a kicker, so they're going to go for it, right? Because Jake Moody's out with the quad injury. Zingen's hurt himself again in warmups. So 4th and 2, they're going to go for it instead of kicking a field goal. They're going to get called for a push down here at the bottom of the screen on Martin. This is a good ball by Darnold. Hits him in the right spot. That push off was, I think, ever so subtle. But again, a good throw, right decision by Sam Darnold. I think that's the biggest thing is as we're watching Sam Darnold in the preseason, the results haven't been there. And one of the reasons that they haven't been there is because some of it's on him, but more of it is on the people around him that he's playing with, the backup offensive linemen, receivers pushing off, those types of things are killing possessions. And that does it here. Instead of having a 21-yard gain, 1st and 10, all the way down, in the red zone, you get a offensive pass interference, which backs it up. So that's a tough one. I've been negative on Sam Darnold in the fact that I don't believe that he was the second best quarterback on the 49ers roster, but at the same time, I feel like Sam Darnold has been fine. He'll be okay. I would rather the 49ers kept Trey Lance, just 100%. Be honest. And we got Eric Dane asking, Jack, you were at training camp. Do you think Sam Darnold's better than Trey Lance? And the answer is no. I've said that repeatedly throughout training camp, other than during maybe the early portion of training camp. I thought Darnold was better. And then from like day 4 on, I felt like Trey Lance was the better of the two on a very consistent basis. I think there's a lot more to the story that we don't know. I don't think that the 49ers even believe that Sam Darnold is necessarily better than Trey Lance. I think, and they're not going to say this, but I think what happened is they decided that they were going to move on with Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy was going to be the starting quarterback. And when you decide, they brought in Sam Darnold because they wanted to have a veteran guy. And the whole thing here was Trey Lance, he's going to have some trade value. What's it going to be? When they were offered a 4th-round pick, it was too much to pass up. Nobody, I think, expected to get a 4th-round pick in that 49ers organization because all they'd been offered up to that point was a 5th. So to get a 4th from the Cowboys, you make the move. I don't like it. And part of the reason I don't like the move is because the 49ers are going to sell this trade to you as part of their spin is they're going to try to sell you that the reason they traded Trey Lance is because it's going to generate. Their 49ers are going to try to tell you that this trade of Lance is made partly to help them retain and bring back Nick Bosa and get that contract done. That's wrong. That's completely false. They're lying to you when they say that. Now, in terms of 2023 and 2024, there's some savings, but this year there's absolutely no savings. Trading Trey Lance saved the 49ers $940,000 against the cap. So you get $940,000 saved. But here's the thing. In order for, if they decide that they're going to have 3 quarterbacks and they bring Brandon Allen back and they keep Brandon Allen on the 53-man roster, Brandon Allen's going to cost over $1 million. The 49ers quarterback room, if they keep 3 between Brock Purdy, Sam Darnold, and Brandon Allen, their quarterback room is going to be more expensive than if they had Purdy, Darnold, and Lance. That's just the way it is. And that quarterback room is also weaker than if they had that. Now, I understand making the trade because you're getting, that's the only guy that was going to bring you value of those. But you just weakened your quarterback room. You're paying more money now. The money that they're saving in 2024, if they decided to keep Lance and they traded him in the offseason after this year, the $5 million that they're going to save in 2024, they would have saved that same money next year. They're not doing, it did nothing for them now other than get them a draft pick for next year. And so from that standpoint, that's accurate. And I would have a lot more respect if the 49ers just said the truth. We decided we were moving on from Trey. This was the best pick we could get. And we're moving on. Instead, trying to spin it as this saving money, they're lying to you because it's not accurate, right? I mean, and let's just call it what it is. That's not accurate. The 49ers are not saving money by trading Trey Lance this year. I know. Here's the thing. Tommy is a big-time 49er fan, and so he doesn't like it either. He's pissed off, too, about the folks that are not being accurate with that kind of stuff. The savings, the 2024 savings may be used to help sign Bosa. Again, that's accurate. It's also accurate to say that if the 49ers just went ahead and they kept their quarterback room and made it the best that they could this year with their top 3 quarterbacks, the savings in 2024 would still be there. The 49ers could waive or trade Trey Lance in 2024 and still have that same savings regardless, because it's going to be the same either way. I hope that makes sense. Now, also, I'm not stupid. I understand that they probably wouldn't have got a 4th-round pick next year for Lance. I get the whole picture. What I don't agree with is they're trying to spin it, and people are going to eat it up because you guys don't have as much time on your hands as I do. So you don't have time to look it up, to look at what the cap ramifications are on it, right? And that's why you come here, and that's why I tell you, because I got too much time on my hands. I got plenty of time on my hands to come here and talk 49ers with you all day long. So there you have it. That's it. Now, that's how I feel about it. In terms of the game, let's get back to it. Sam Darnold. And this is a really nice, I really like Isaiah Winstead. He hasn't gotten very many targets, but when he has, he's been really good in terms of his hands. He hasn't made very many mistakes and drops and those types of things. He's been really good when he's gotten opportunities. He's just going to run a little drag here from right to left. This ball's a little bit behind him, but he makes the catch. But I like the stop and start move right here. Watch, he ball's behind him, so he's kind of stuck, and then he just drops the defender right there because he hits the brakes. The defender hits the brakes, and he's gone. That's a really nice play by Isaiah Winstead. The throw. Good decision by Darnold. The throws again behind him a little bit. Get that thing out in front of him, Sam. Let him catch it on the move so he doesn't have to, if you catch this right here and he's running, he probably ends up getting the same amount, but just make a better throw because that's your job. But a really nice play by Isaiah Winstead. And the 49ers have a lot of decisions to make what they're going to do here at wide receiver. I know a lot of people like Tay Martin. If I was the 49ers, I'd go with Isaiah Winstead over Tay Martin. This guy he's a playmaker. He's a big dude. He's got abilities to make plays, and that's a really nice play with his feet right there. And we're going to see his hands come into play in a little bit. So a nice little throw there on the crosser. Nice run we're going to get a couple nice runs here against I think, second, third string now of the Chargers. Ty Davis Price making some runs against some guys they'll never play against on the Sunday. And then this is just a bad play by Sam Darnold right here. He's got to put his head down. He's got to head to the corner. It's not open. That's fine. He does a good job looking. Nothing's there. Put your head down, start running to the pylon. Instead, because he's running laterally, he doesn't threaten the defense. The defense is able to sit back and they just stay in coverage the whole time. You got once you break out here, if you're Sam Darnold, instead of running laterally along the 15, you've got to start attacking the line of scrimmage. You've got to start attacking the 10. If you start attacking the line of scrimmage, that guy right there who is a linebacker, you see him just underneath, I think that's Winstead at the goal line. He's going to have to do something, right? See how, because you're not attacking the line, he doesn't have to, it's easy. He just stays in coverage. Stay in coverage, stay in coverage. He's not going to affect the play in the end, but you go ahead and attack it, pick up some yards. This was 2nd and 4. You probably could pick up the first down if you just had put your head down and run to the sideline on this play. Instead, he keeps sliding to the left, and then he almost throws an interception on top of it, hitting the ball. Throws it a lot too late. The linebacker zero gets it. Just got to. It's fine. You're reading everything. It's not there, but now attack the line of scrimmage and then don't do that. Zero should have had an interception. Don't do that. Come on, Sam. Gee whiz. All right. So now it's 3rd and 4. Again, that's good decision making in terms of not throwing the ball earlier on, right? Getting out of the pocket was good from Darnold. Not good in that he didn't attack the line of scrimmage. Not good in that he threw it to a guy that was covered, nearly threw it away, or almost became an interception because of where he threw it. Comes back from that. This is nice. Not there, turns, and that's a good ball for the touchdown. Again, sometimes you're going to make mistakes. How do you bounce back from it? And this is a really nice bounce back from Darnold. He's going to look down here to the bottom. He's looking tight end, covered. Well, everything's covered there. Now he turns his head back to the middle. Sees the open receiver in the back. It's going to be Willie Snead. This is a nice anticipation throw because he's not open at this point, but he's going to get open. Look, there's no way that defender standing on the E is going to be able to get to him because he has no idea what Darnold's doing behind him. And that's a really nice play by Sam Darnold. That's a really high-level type of a throwing it with that guy the whole way that this worked out. Watch, you're going to see him look to the right. Covered, comes back to the middle. There's no way 39 can make this play, so I'm going to put it high on the back line. That's a play and a throw that the 49ers quarterbacks work a lot. If you watch some of the videos that I put up from practice, when they're working in the red zone, they actually work on making this throw when they're throwing with the ball boys and Brian Greasy in the red zone. Nice throw. That's kind of why it's a little bit high. Good ball. Now they come back. They're going to go for 2. I don't like this. The bad read by just taking the shot to the top to Winstead. Winstead doesn't win the route. I would much rather have had him work the combination on the bottom where you've got the vertical guys basically running screens with 86 coming back up down underneath. He's open. If you watch it again, watch down here. Watch the trip side, tray side. Actually, you get both those under those 2 bottom guys running those little outs. Basically, what they're doing is running picks for the receiver that's coming back, which is Tay Martin. This one, if he works the right side, this is a touchdown to Tay Martin. It's not a touchdown; it's a 2-point conversion. I just don't like the read. I don't like the decision making right there to go to the top. That's a low percentage play on the fade right there. But that ends the night for Sam Darnold. And now we're going to bring on the one and the only, the incomparable Brandon Allen, number 4. And Brandon Allen, number 4, there's a lot of talk last year about how the 49ers third-string quarterback reminded them of Nick Mullins. This poor guy, he's even got the 4 on. He doesn't even have, they don't even put the 1 in front of it. And they're going to come out here. And this is, remember earlier on in the game where Brock Purdy, they had the double slants to the left side on 3rd and I think it was 2nd and 11. So this is now 2nd and 7, 2nd and 10. They're going to run that double slant again down here to the bottom of the screen. The inside, he's throwing it. The inside man is covered. The second one's going to be open. The ball comes out. It's just behind him. It's a bad throw. Bad throw from bad throw here from Brandon Allen. I'm going to stop this for a second because I want to bring this one up. El Comillo Dorado says, Jack doesn't like Sam. We get it. I don't really give a rat's patootie about Sam Darnold. And I'm just going to address this really quick because a lot of people on my channel and on social media for the longest period of time told me that I hated Trey Lance. I was a Trey Lance hater. And this year, a lot of those same people have liked my coverage. And let me just say this. I think I understand why. Because for the first 2 years that Trey Lance was here, when he wasn't performing it very well, when he wasn't living up to the expectations of a third-round draft pick, when he was struggling, I wasn't afraid to say it. There's other people that were at training camp who made sure that they chose their words more wisely. Let's just put it that way on Trey Lance. This year, Trey Lance had a really good camp. So what did I write? I wrote about how good he was doing. And what happened? All the people that had told me that I was racist, I wasn't, all these things for the last 2 years, going back to even before Trey Lance was drafted, all of a sudden liked everything that I was writing. And the only difference was that I was saying what they wanted to hear. It wasn't because I didn't like Trey Lance. It wasn't because I thought that Trey Lance was a bust. Didn't have anything to do with actually what was being said. So that's why sometimes I was telling somebody this yesterday, you get a lot of positivity, you get a lot of negativity, and it's just about doing what you do and realizing that what you're saying is what you believe. Don't say things that you're hoping people are going to like. And that's one of the things when it comes to me. I'm not here to tell you what you want to hear. I'm here to tell you what I see. And that's why people, I think, want to come to this channel, because they know that they're getting honest opinions and they're getting something that is not the company line. And that's I think the biggest thing. As far as Sam Darnold, I think he's a fine quarterback. Do I think that he was better than Trey Lance? No, but that doesn't mean that I don't like Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold's fine. He's going to be okay. The 49ers quarterback room as a whole today is not better than it was a year ago at this time. A year ago this time, you had Brock Purdy and Jimmy Garoppolo. Brock Purdy and Jimmy Garoppolo is better than Brock Purdy and Sam Darnold. Jimmy Garoppolo is better than Sam Darnold. And then the third quarterback right now in the 49ers is Brandon Allen. Well, I don't think there's a person in this room who thinks that Brandon Allen is a better quarterback than Trey Lance. So based off of what I just said, and if you look at it in that way, the 49ers quarterback room is worse this year than last. Doesn't mean that I don't like Sam Darnold. It means that when he plays good and he does things that are good, I'm going to say it. When he doesn't, I'm going to say it. And even today, in a game in which he was 6 of 11, if you just watch the show, to come in and say Jack doesn't like Sam, we get it. I don't think you're even watching the show, because I've said a lot of things about Sam Darnold in this show that were positive, even on throws that were incompletions. Even on bad throws, I've talked about things that were good about what he did. So do I dislike Sam Darnold? Hell no. No, I don't dislike any of these guys that I cover. They're all fine. It's fine. Other than, the one time when the guy walked around for an interview and just his jock in the locker room, that wasn't so much fun. But, most of the time, this stuff is cool, and the players are mostly cool. So I don't dislike anybody when it comes to that. It's not like I don't like, I hate Trey Lance. I hate Sam Darnold. I've got to, yeah. No, that's not the way it is. All right. So I'm going to step off my soapbox. We're going to get back to it. We just saw the interception for Brandon Allen on the slant to Tay Martin, a bad throw behind him, leading to that interception. Now we're going to get back to it. The ensuing possession, this is the interception again. It's just behind him. It's just a bad throw. You can't throw a slant back here, and because it's behind him, the DB is able to get there between the ball behind him and the play by the DB. It ends up going the other direction. Just a bad throw from 4. And here's the other thing. Brandon Allen is going to make this roster. Either he's going to be on the roster, on the 53-man roster, or he's not going to be with the 49ers. So it'll be interesting to see what they decide to do, because I don't think Brandon Allen's going to agree to be on their practice squad. should they decide that they don't want to have him on the 53. And not necessarily that that's even a bad thing. There might be, but to have spent the amount of time that they spent on him throughout training camp, and then go in a different direction would be interesting. Now, 1st and 10, you get a little run. Not much. The performance of Brandon Allen in this game is, They don't really allow him to do a whole lot either. I think that's the other part of it too. 2nd and 7. They're going to run a screen out here to the left side, and Allen gets to his back foot. He realizes that it's covered. He's not going to try to lob it over him. Instead, he's going to throw this ball right into the guy's groin. Maybe it's his armpit. Either one. He throws it right at him. I think he's trying to throw this away. I don't think he's trying to make the play. I think he realizes that it's dead because of the way that the defense is aligning or playing it, And I think he's trying to just throw it away. And he just throws it right into 58, right into his, right into his hip. Poor guy. That probably hurt. Those balls are hard. They pump the footballs. These aren't Tom Brady's underinflated balls. He rips this one right into that guy's. Yeah, that was close. All right, so now 3rd and 7. Going to run a little crosser here to. It's covered down the field. He's going to come back down underneath to release Snead. Snead's not open. He's open, but not open, really. That's really nice coverage, and the DB's able to reach around and knock that ball away. He's able to get his hand around and knock it down. Watch it from the end zone. 83 coming across. He's kind of open. It's tight coverage. You can make that throw. I don't think it's a bad decision, totally. But it doesn't work out for them. Let's go. I want to get. We got it. There's a couple of plays I want to get to down here in the backed up area. Nice little run for a couple, gets them out, and then you get this throw right here. Again, another. This is kind of their drift concept where it's play action with the quick in. They're trying to bring the linebacker up or get his feet stopped with the play action. You see him step up, and that opens it up. It's a really tight window throw in there to Winstead. And this ball just comes out a little late, and it's high, and that's just a hell of a catch by number 2. He gets up and makes sure that he points to the sideline to make sure they saw it. That's a really nice – this is a late throw from Allen. Comes out of his hand late. Get the ball out now. It's just a hair late, right? It's not even a second. Saying it's a second, whatever, that's not accurate. It's just a little late. Because it's a little late, the throw is a little behind. And this is just a hell of a catch by Isaiah Winstead. Another really nice play by the undrafted rookie free agent wide receiver. Then they're going to it's a really nice play again. Watch this. You'll see the step up. The ball should be coming out right now. The throwing motion should be happening at this point. So he's late. He's throwing it to the right spot. But the reason the ball's behind him is because he's late. The ball should be coming out. He's open now. He's seen it late. Right? He's open at this point. And now because he's late with the throw is going to be behind because that's the only place that the ball can be put. The ball just needs to come out sooner. He's got to get the ball out of his hand on time. Really nice catch by Winstead at the end of this. Like it. And then you're going to get a little run here for a yard from Bell, who's not going to be on the team. Now they're going to run a little screen out to the right side. Not a whole lot to look at there. But I do want to get to this last offensive play before they decide that they're just going to kneel it down. So Couple of things that let's first off, from this angle, we're going to look at the play. So this is a nice read by Brandon Allen. He makes the right decision. They're running a slant out concept at the top of the screen. The out is open. The slant's covered, which leaves the out. This is a nice decision on his part. That needs to be caught by the running back, but that's a good decision on his part. Now, let's watch this from the back. And before I start, I want everybody to stop what they're doing. Put down your drinks. Everybody that throughout last training camp, there was a rookie undrafted offensive lineman who everybody decided that was the greatest thing because he ran a 4.840 and was extremely athletic. His name is Jason Poe. Jason Poe is in his second season with the 49ers. He's right guard, number 51, and you've got to watch this rep by Jason Poe. This is a thing of beauty. Watch the rep by Jason Poe, number 51 on this one. He's not there at no point in time is he even in a position to block. He's already falling down on his own, and I don't even think the defenders touched him yet. Watch this. He's going to come up, and I think he slips on his own. Watch from the other side. But he's already off balance. His ass is already over. He's not over his feet. He's already falling back. And he's down, and 72 just runs through him. Now let's watch it from the other angle. Let's watch and see. Watch 51. He's down on your left. He looks like he's the right guard still. He's over here, but he's on the left side of your screen. He's just off balance, completely out of position from the start. And that's pretty much it. Now they're going to kneel it down, and it's over. So, you go through this game, you watch the quarterbacks, Brock Purdy, sharp, making good decisions, moves right down the field. Again, not against the number one defense of the Chargers, but I like the decision-making that we saw from Brock Purdy in this game. Sam Darnold, you look at his numbers, they weren't so hot. I think he was 6 of 11 overall. But there was, again, for the second week in a row, I think that the numbers don't tell the story with Sam Darnold. I think he was better than what on some throws. He lost some throws because of penalties. He lost some positive plays because of penalties. So I think overall, when you watch Sam Darnold in this game, he was okay. I think he could have been a little bit better. There's a couple of throws I could have seen, would have liked to have seen him make a little bit better. But for the most part, he was making the right decisions, going to the right spots. He needs to get help from the guys around him, like every quarterback does. You aren't going to be successful if you're making completions and you're getting holding calls, right? Or offensive pass interference, or you're scrambling and there's a hold, those kind of things. It's gonna hurt you. Brandon Allen, that's a whole nother story. Brandon Allen's never been a very good NFL quarterback. I mean, remember now, when I say not good, you got to remember, to be in the NFL, you're a good quarterback. So forget about that. Brandon Allen's fine, but when it comes to an NFL level quarterback, the 49ers have taken a step back at that position. No two ways about it. And the 49ers need for Brock Purdy to stay healthy if they're going to win the Super Bowl this year. It's going to be with Brock Purdy, I think. Sam Darnold, I think, can win some games for him. Maybe he'll surprise. Maybe he'll step up and he'll make something happen. If they get to a position where they need their third quarterback, then it might as well, start following the Giants. But the 49ers, Brock Purdy, good game. Sam Darnold, I think, better than his numbers look. And then you have Brandon Allen. There you have it. I hope everybody enjoyed the show. If you guys can do me a favor, I would appreciate for you to please hit that like button. After you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. If you're watching the show, you like what you're seeing, you already subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button. And then once you do that, also turn on your notifications. You don't want to miss any of the updates right here on Inside the Farmers with Jack Hammer. Any breaking news, the 49ers are going to be starting to do their cut down here pretty soon. I'm not going to be giving you every single cut down as it comes across. I'll probably do a full breakdown afterwards of what the 53-man roster looks like. If the 49ers haven't already made a bunch of cuts as far as tomorrow, I'll be back tomorrow with what I think the roster is going to look like. I do think you're going to see six. I can guarantee you almost right now that there's going to be 6 wide receivers. There's going to be 5 running backs. I think there might be 4 tight ends. That's the one with Cameron Latu injured his knee. If you haven't already heard already, Latu injuring his knee in the final game. There's a possibility he's going to need surgery, which might end up putting him on IR to start the season. So lots of things going on around the 49ers roster. So keep it locked in here. I'll make sure I break it down. So before you leave, like, subscribe, notifications, get it all done. You all fantastic. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll be talking to you soon.